Squirrel, I don't know if it's gonna work. If it crashes again today, I'm probably just gonna stop trying to fuck with things. Give myself a 24-hour break and try swapping out my GPUs tomorrow. Went to the dentist this morning. Got my permanent retainer refitted. It just popped off. It happens. The glue they use on them is semi-permanent. It's supposed to last like a lifetime, but it pops off occasionally and breaks. So we're into the game. Yeah, so after all of that yesterday, I went and got a hot dog from upstairs, just made a hot dog quick, and bit into it, and there was something crunchy, and I was like, what the fuck? Because, you know, like, it's just a normal hot, like, I just put it in the air fryer, so it wasn't like I shouldn't have got like a crunch like I did. And then I felt my permanent retainer, and one of the glue pieces just popped right off. I was like, God damn it. It was still mostly attached, but like, still definitely like, wasn't attached fully, and I was like, yeah, that's not okay. Well, you see, the thing is, I got my second putts, which is the ring I needed, and then everything went to hell. So I've sacrificed my sanity to get a drop. What's going on, KK? Nah, TFT's kind of dead to me now. It's just not a very fun competitive game to me. There's just too much RNG in it. It ends up just being a nightmare in the end. So I'm having some fun playing ARPGs again. It's just so much RNG you gotta fight through every single game, and it's just like, I love the game itself, like the concepts are really fun, and I love auto battlers still, but like, if I'm gonna be spending that much time fighting RNG, I may as well like play RNG for drops. At least in this game, I'm only fighting myself. Aha, another siphon. Let's go. Add another one to the collection. Should never gamble. Wing guards? Ooh, okay. Booba Fridge Gamba confirmed. These gloves are not very great for me. It's the first time I've seen this belt, I think. It's not better than what I currently have, but it's something. All those issues killed my streak? Sorry, Squirrel. It killed my drive as well. It seems like it was it's a driver issue though, so hopefully it's gone. Everything else is coming back fine because like I was able to get through Furmark and Prime 95 and Cinebench and a bunch of other benchmarks, no problem. So to me, that screams that it's not a GPU dying issue, because if it's dying, it would die in FirmArc, and if my CPU had issues, it would also die in Prime 95 or Cinebench. So it's like, to me, it has to scream then some other type of problem. Hi, Cass. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Chinese are trying to reboot the Matrix. Correct. I actually broke out 4 years ago, and that's when I started streaming. Or something. God, saying 4 years ago now would be 2019 or 2020. No, I started streaming before that. God, I'm getting old now. Holy shit. 26, gonna be 27 this year. Uggy's in the nursing home already. That's why he's been playing Fortnite, is to feel young again. Trying to feel young again. Insulation, kind of trash. Fortnite's still a thing? Yeah, that game's still huge. This world is still huge. 500 plus players. 500k players plus every day. It's still a massive thing. But it's like Roblox, where they've added so many like games and things to it. It's becoming a game service, not just a game now. Which is kind of how Roblox did it, and why Roblox blew so large so quickly. It's like when you create, and your game becomes a service to other things, it kind of makes it more of a requirement then, right? To play that game, so then you're already playing Fortnite plus something else. The hell is Roblox? Think Minecraft, but like they have like game modes in it. So like you can play school and you can do like all these different things that kids like to do, right? Hide and seek and all that kind of dumb shit. And it's all within one game. Whereas, you know, previously a kid would have to have like 7 or 8 different games. And so then they monetize the game in the sense that you have like multiple aspects of it. The game became the service. It's an interesting concept, and one I think we'll continue to see. I've never downloaded Roblox, but I know of it because of with Steam? Kind of, yeah. Think of it like, okay, so you know how like Half-Life had a bunch of mods for it? This is maybe more your generation. So like Half-Life has a bunch of mods for it, right? Had a bunch of mods for it. And those individual mods were all like their own individual games, right? But within Half-Life. Think of it where you could just launch those mods from within Half-Life, all of them, at any given time. That's kind of what it is. So Robux buys you like skins and other shit like every other game these days, from how I understand it, or like, you know, faster access to things, right? It buys you in-game currency for something or another. That's generally how that stuff works now. I'd imagine certain game modes you need to spend money to buy or something of the sort. I haven't played, so I only know the nitty-gritty of it. I don't know the nitty-gritty. I only know the top-down view of how it kind of works. And it's very similar to what Fortnite's done, where like, you know, now they've got Lego Fortnite built in, and Rocket Racing, all that stuff built right into Fortnite, that's all kind of the same thing. They better be Robux masters after what I gave them. No, they're actually going to become crack fiends. That's generally how that works. If it's anything like MTG, it's just going to make them want more. And they're going to get poorer and poorer. Virtual Crack Simulator coming soon? That's just a gacha game. They already exist. They've existed for a minute. I heard that China's potentially cracking down on gacha games in the country, which is interesting because that's like the biggest distributors of gacha games are generally Asian, Chinese market, Tencent games. A lot of that kind of stuff is gacha related, which is interesting that they're cracking down on it. But there's already talk of them walking it back. Yeah, Tencent's overall stock projections went down. I think it was like 16% yesterday. Which is kind of interesting. I mean, unironically, we do too, though. Here in the States, but that's another problem. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, there's already talk of them walking that back, or at least limiting it a little bit, because they went back and a while back they made it so that you could only play games so many hours a day if you were a certain age or something of the sort, if I recall. I remember that that's been a thing now for a minute. So like, there's been a lot of China push to limit games being played by children, etc., which is interesting. I mean, I would say it's not too different than like the US was like in the 80s and 90s, right, where video game playing was seen as you know, almost devil worship, right? I mean, God, you look at D&D for that time period. 3 hours a week, yes, I did hear, yeah, something of the sort. Again, I'm not super in on the info because I don't need to know about it. That's the best way to describe it. Come on, Link. That can help you in 2 seconds. Here. Go. Go. Wander. There you go. Didn't get me killed, thankfully. Bullshit. He often gets me killed when he needs help. Because he just sits and bitches at me and he's like, open the blanket. I need under there, dude. Like, I need under the blanket right now. Right now. Under. And he just yells at me and it's just like, dude, relax. You act like you weren't just gonna sit and wait for me anyway. Yeah, you hear me talking about you, don't you? He's bitching. Because now he can't get comfy under the blanket because he required me to just quickly move it. Bullshit. I love him though. He's the bestest. You know, you can get mad and then you realize, God damn it, he's cute. You can't argue with cute, right? It's the puppy dog eyes, man. Can't argue with puppy dog eyes. I mean, you can. You're just gonna lose, you know. All right. Should be able to beat this guy. Nice. Get this monolith done. I'll try to grab some potions real quick. There we go. Another pot. At least get one so I can go into the next area and start farming. Beautiful. My dog just wants you to rub her belly. That's Leia. Leia wants constant belly rubs. Whereas Binks just wants to be like with you, but also in a comfy spot. And he'll tell you about it. He'll tell you. Whereas Leia will just sit there and go like, and just like yell at you like that. And just like make these like random like noises. It's the cutest shit ever, but it's hilarious. Whereas Binks wants your attention, like, to help him. I don't mind though. They're cute. So. Yeah, well, the thing is like, it's one of those things that when you're 5 pounds and for the majority of their lives, I've been home with them now. Outside of college, like there was a little brief period where like when we first got Binks, I was in college and working. But like we got Binks. He's 5 now. We got him in 2018, 2019. Can't remember. It was just his 5-year gotcha day, so 2019, I think. Yeah. Math is right. That makes sense. Anyway, or no, it was 2018 because it was 5 years this last Christmas, 2018. So like he was 2 years old when we had COVID lockdown, so we were home with him all the time after his like puppy phase. I mean, he's obviously still a pup, but... and so like it's just one of those things that he's just only ever known us being home, really, and me being home, and that's just one of the things of like, I don't necessarily think I'd have a problem going and getting a 9 to 5 if I really had to. Like, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. Yeah, it would suck. Yes. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I enjoy streaming and playing games and having fun with it. But I worry about my dogs. Like Leia, Leia I think would be fine. She grew up, you know, with people having to come and go. And she's pretty independent now. She'll go just lay down. She doesn't really even come downstairs. She doesn't want to be. Because honestly, I annoy her more than anything. She knows I'm home, but I annoy her and she just wants to sleep all day because she's 9 or 8, 7, 7, 8, whatever. She's getting up there. She's not a pup anymore. So there's a... she wants the attention when when she wants it, but then she's just chilling, vibing. Whereas Binks like gets sick and pukes when like I leave during the day. So I'm half expecting to go upstairs later tonight after I was gone. I'm getting my tabs for my car that I don't ever drive, and then the camper tabs, and then my tooth fixed. I'm half expecting to re-vomit upstairs somewhere that I didn't see. Because he gets so sick when I'm not home. And it breaks my fucking heart. It just makes me so incredibly sad. Well, so we've gotten pretty good, and I've gotten really good about getting him where it's not a problem, but he's less than 5 pounds, so like actual anxiety meds for him, it's like give him a Benadryl. And we have that, or you know, it's just give him something like a sedative to help him calm down, which we do. We have for him, but it's not frequent enough that it's a problem. Generally, it's the idea though of like, if I were to go get a job again, a 9 to 5, it would be an everyday thing that he just wouldn't do well. And like I've talked about it with the wife, if it came down to it, you know, God forbid she lost her job. Just, you know, when he's gonna be left alone. Oh, right now, that's the thing. Like, generally, it's okay. Because I don't leave. But yes, whenever we know we're gonna be gone, like, we try to do something to help tire him out. You know, the age-old take him on a long WALK or or give him a Kong with some peanut butter or something in it, just to help bring his mind at ease. But it's just would be really tough, I think, on him to go from me being home every day to not. It is something that we've talked about, and it might come around to happening eventually if I have to get a job. But that's why I'm gonna grind real hard on this game and make something happen. There was a while there though where it got really bad and he like was really low on weight. And we couldn't figure out why, and it came down to we changed up the food he was eating. Because Leia, we think, is allergic potentially to like some type of grain or something. That's, you know, some type of grain or preservative or something that's in her food, in the food that we've been giving them. Well, instead of you know, just eating it like most dogs, and we took a while to like slowly integrate it and everything, and we thought he was fine. No, it turns out the motherfucker was just starving himself to death. And it got to a point where he was so, like, he wasn't eating for so long that he, like, whenever he would eat, he would vomit because he, like, and then, oh god, it was terrible. And so we've got him back to where he was previously weight-wise, and he's doing good now. But there's occasional times that he'll have moments, and it's just like, dude. He truly is my child at this point in that regard. I mean, shit, the amount of I've had to sleep on the couch with him multiple times because he was sick and we didn't need him on, we couldn't have him on the bed, etc. Done the whole hullabaloo. Everyone should have a pet. It honestly teaches you a lot, and I think anybody that's planning on having children should be forced to have like a, I mean, I want to say needy, but you know, needy dog, because if you can't handle a needy dog, you're fucked for a child. You know, just kind of the funny way I put it. But I don't think it's too inaccurate. By any stretch of the imagination. You already have 3 dogs. They're just humans. No, I mean head pats. Oh. Gonna get Cass a Furbo so that whenever Cass does something well, we just throw treats to her. Holy shit! The electric spiders, man, those things hurt. I mean, oh. I'll let him know for Christmas of next year, all right, Cass? Dog treat dispenser filled with Skittles. Check. Multi-purpose. You and the children. Skittles? I mean, why not both? Why not both Skittles and M&Ms just to create chaos? Well, who's to say it isn't a good thing for us to witness the bitching about how you accidentally got an M&M when you were expecting a Skittle? You didn't say it was a good thing for it had to be a good thing for you. You just said, you know, a good thing. Well, I think Cass would probably like M&M's and Skittles, just not together. Which is the whole point of why I said together.
Yes.
I mostly just said together just to make Cass like want to projectile vomit. No. Same dispenser. Fuck off, Siri. Do you guys, can someone clip the monster that was having a seizure? A senior, huh? Ragdolling everywhere. Oh, I should check my other rot mind I got yesterday. Todd Howard said that was a feature. Yeah. We also stopped listening to Todd Howard because the dude's a fucking idiot. He said that some of the, I mean, his justification for some of the worlds being empty on Starfield is that, you know, the moon was empty and that was still exciting. Like, huh? Because you know, the moon wasn't the first time that, you know, we had stepped foot on another otherworldly planet than the you know, no big deal there. No big deal. It's just because is that the one where he said that? I don't know how you as a CEO can be that fucking stupid. Like, how do you not have a better answer than that? Because if that was the PR answer they came up with, holy, they are fucked. But that also does explain... That kind of does explain the absolute garbage that is modern-day Bethesda games. You collect items. I hate everything. It's just all bad. Outdated garbage. And the fact that it won a Steam Award still pisses me off and really exemplifies how bad the Steam Awards are. In the sense that they're all, you know, just like community voted and you can't trust the general population with a fucking fork, let alone doing something intelligent. You know, the Steam Awards was a troll. I know. But like, there's definitely people out there that actually think that though is the problem. I watched Shroud play Star, whatever the fuck shit name it was, Starfield, and he was hyping it up as like, well, if you like Bethesda games, you'll love this game. You know, I like Bethesda games, and I'm like, dude, you can say it's trash. Just because they gave you a bunch of money doesn't mean you have to lie to your fucking audience. Because it was a sponsored stream. Or an ad, you know, hashtag ad where they paid him to play it. I'm 90% sure it was sponsored. Or he's just shilling because, well, it's a way to make sure that you continue to get preferential treatment as a streamer. Which, again, it's a business decision. I don't really blame him, but it's just, ugh. The two things I'm happy about is the fact that Baldur's Gate continues to be seen as a good thing, like as a positive for the gaming space, and I'm just happy to see that. Because you know what? You don't actually have to like that style of game to appreciate what it's done. Spider-Man 2 costing $300 million plus to make? The game or the movie? I assume you're talking about the game. But I have to double check. The game. $300 million? Were they putting like the hookers they got in Vegas on the cards? For, you know, like... Holy. 40 million was spent just on cutscenes. Are they good? I haven't played any Spider-Man game in so long because I don't have a Sony console. And that's been a Sony exclusive thing for years. I think now they're on PC, but I just don't care. They had to sell 7.2 million at full price to break even. I mean, I don't think that's that impossible of a thing. The Spider-Man, they are now on Steam. That is a thing, but only in the last couple years as Sony started allowing PlayStation games on Steam. That was after Microsoft decided to do so. They've sold 6 mil so far. When was the release date? Was that one of the Christmas releases? Again, Sony exclusives, I don't pay attention. Great games. I just don't ever, I've never had I have not had a Sony console since the PlayStation 1. So my dad got an Xbox and then an Xbox 360 and then we had an Xbox One because we had Xboxes. Last year, February or March, I think. So they're still negative. Oh my goodness. Now, does the 300 million include marketing budget? Is that made known? Because I could see maybe 300 million including marketing budget, because Sony markets their games pretty aggressively at times. Couldn't tell you on that. That's valid. That's valid to not know. It's 300 million, still a massive chunk of change. So I would have to assume that was including marketing budget. And I'm also curious to see, like, because Sony has to be. I mean, there is a point at which Sony has to be willing to take losses for single player games in general. Especially if they need console exclusives, which, I mean, let's be real, they do, to compete with what Xbox is doing over the last year or two with Game Pass. I will say I think the PlayStation, what is it, Portal, will be a bigger failure than they need content to sell. Exactly. You need content to sell your consoles. And so that's like not that crazy of an idea for me to make, for it to lose money on. I guarantee you, like, there was a while there where Xbox, Microsoft Studios, was spending some obscene amounts of money to get Halo cinematics done. Like, movie quality cinematics for Halo. I can't imagine that was cheap either when they were doing that for a while. But I don't know how much some of those cost, you know? Because at a certain point, like, they are 100% selling the platform with those exclusives. So, like, some level of loss should be, I don't want to say expected, but kind of expected. Because, you know, Sony's still making money on all their other aspects of their content platform. You know, they're taking a cut of every game you buy at Best Buy or whatever. 2LP Quiver, huh? That's actually pretty enticing. Word. But yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, that's surprising, but not crazy. Things are more expensive, especially when you're paying, like, you know, a first party studio that isn't, you know, they're gonna want their money. You make money based on cut rate after that. Well, and it could very well be that they thought they were gonna make more money than they did. I mean, that wouldn't be surprising to me. That they thought they would sell better than they did. But quite honestly, last year was kind of a crazy year in terms of, well, just the overall economy, I feel like. I don't remember when the economic turmoil last year started. The post-COVID boom of entertainment industry started to falter. Because there's been a lot of companies that have started to, like, that had their projections way too high last year because of the post-COVID electronics boom, where, I mean, you produced anything and people would buy it because there was nothing to do. You were stuck at home or blah, 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 you know? There was a lot of that for a hot minute. I know it's been a big thing amongst computer manufacturers and hardware in general. Is like they overproduced on a lot of things last year due to the fact that there was such a huge shortage the years prior, and you couldn't buy a GPU for a hot minute. But yeah, I'm curious to know what the overall thought process was on that. I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things that's, there's a lot of speculation on how things would go, and I mean, that's a 2LP bow. At a certain point, like, I don't know. I'm not an economist when it comes to it all, but I try to keep up somewhat because it does, you know, affect the future of my life, you know. Though Squirrel, I will say this, and you might appreciate this. Wife totally said that she was on board with the idea of opening up a campground, because we've talked about that before. But she had this idea of wanting to, like, create make a coffee shop or something as a retirement plan, just for, like, the I don't want to be bored when I'm retired thing. So she said, I can have my campground so long as she can sell coffee on premises. And I'm like, that's never was going to be a question. So that was fun. And you know, me and her both said like, we'll see. I mean, it's obviously years from now that we're talking. I mean, I'm fucking not even 27 yet. But, you know, it was just a fun idea to think about. It kind of depends. So, I mean, you can retire doing it, but like anything, you can start to get really nasty arthritis in your hands. So, wife expects to be able to work till, you know, retirement age, 65, whatever. But you never know how that goes. But she also is very highly educated in her field, and said that if that ever happened, where she couldn't like physically do it every day anymore, that she would go into more of like a teaching role for like a large company like Wella or Orbay or whatever it may be. And due to like our time in Spain and other places, she already has connections in those companies. Like when we went to LA twice for her. No, she's been to LA three times? Regardless. She's already started to make connections in the field at these larger companies and has like started to kind of grow that aspect of potential. And so that's potentially an option for her in the long run, as well as an out. Yeah, well, I mean, she could manage a salon. She already does a lot of like, I don't want to call it management work, but management work because, well, her manager is. That's another problem. The company she works for is great, but her manager is kind of iffy at times. She's just that person that's like, doesn't necessarily have the greatest understanding of person-to-person relationships. And because of that, she's very monetarily driven as a manager, and that's fine and all. And she does well for the company, but she doesn't necessarily make everyone feel super appreciated, understood, blah, blah, blah. You know, the normal stuff that you have with any business. And so that's been a thing that the wife struggled with over the last couple of years. But, I mean, shit, I think she's, was in the top 5 for all of the company this last year. So, I mean, she's basically got things set. But yeah, there's career path options outside of just doing hair. But it's one of those things that you have to want to. And there's a lot of people that obviously don't always want that. You get people who want to do the same thing forever. But you know, it's just like anything, a carpenter, you know, someone might do carpentry to start, but then they might get to a position where, you know, their lower back is just not in the best of shape anymore as they've gotten older. And like with anything, it's a trade at a certain point.
This is a mess I must to protect my people.
Nope. Keep current. I mean, that's with anybody, right? And it's one of those things that even I've had to make that realization that no matter what happens with streaming, it is not going to be a forever thing for me, most likely. There's just too much volatility in it, and if I want to make a long-term career out of any one thing, it's you do this and then you pivot to a different role. That's just how it works. Unless you're like somebody that makes insane money like Shroud, Summit, whatever, then you can do this till you retire. But oh yeah, no, it can be scary, but that's kind of life as a whole. I feel like you can't always just can't always just assume you'll be able to do something forever, no matter how good you are at it, etc. There's a chance that the day may come for all of us, right? But glad to hear that you're not in that position, Squirrel. That'd be a good one, but I think it's new kit.
Take care. It eludes me.
I think wife and I realize that life's a cruel bitch. And sometimes she might punch you in the face. So you gotta kind of plan for anything. I mean, we both said that if it came to it, we'll move to Hawaii and she'll just be she'll work at one of the resorts doing like hair beads or something, you know, like the kids get when they go on vacation with rich family crap. You know, because the cost of living on the Big Island is so incredibly low if you're willing to do things the right way in terms of, you know, eating fresh local produce, etc. Or I'll just get a camper van. Live on the move. Well, it wouldn't be hobo because I'd have a home. But nomadic flight. There you go. That's a better way, I think, to put it. It'd be nomadic. And we talked about it when COVID happened, picking up a camper and just traveling. And saying fuck it. But sadly that dream soured rather quickly. It's so incredibly hard to make money doing that, like, because your options are realistically work odd jobs when you get to a location, and or you do some type of online remote work, which wife can't do, unless we ran a hair salon out of the van, which people do. They do mobile, like that kind of stuff. Generally, though, it's like charity work for homeless people, etc. It's definitely doable if you go to places where you can be outside. Which was like the goal, right? We'd go to places like that we could just be outside all year. So like during the cold season here in Minnesota, it would be you go down to like, you know, Death Valley or whatever, where it's a little bit, not necessarily warm. You know, it'd be warmer. There would not be as much snow potential comparatively to Minnesota this time of year. No, now this year though, last year we had 40 inches of snow. This year we've got 0 inches on the ground right now. So I guess that's something to kind of keep in mind. It's a little weird right now. On eBay or whatever. That sounds like it'd be a hell of a job. When I worked at Target, we used to have people who would come through and buy the clearance stuff to then sell like online, etc. Resellers. That was always quite interesting. Because it would be usually like they'd buy with like a tax exemption thing, which I didn't know how to do because I was new there when I used to see it all the time. And they'd just come through and they just buy all of it. Generally, it was like old electronics items, and they'd be getting them for 90% off, you know? So it was like, it's one of those things that a small section at a Target, you might only have a handful of people that look at every year, you know, or every week, every month, whatever. But like you put that on eBay or something, and there's definitely people who buy things like that, Amazon listings, etc. But it's an interesting thing. I could never try to do it. I've actually thought about doing this, and I don't know, maybe I will. I've thought about doing a computer, just computer building, like custom computers. I think it'd be very fun, and I could realistically do it for a relatively decent profit while still being competitive for like local stuff in terms of like local Micro Center would be like the only other option you could really do, other than buying pre-built. But then you have to be competitive with like Best Buy's pre-built options, etc. But I don't know if I necessarily want to deal with the random people with it, because you can get so many scammers, etc. that would try to buy something from you and then claim that you broke it or it doesn't work, or I do it like for family, friends, etc. And I actually really love doing it, but I always struggle to like, think that would actually be a viable option. Alas. The sad part is I love doing it, and so like I've done it now quite recently for my brother's friend. $100 out for generally gaming computers is what you'd build them for. A build, you know, because that's like a relatively high price point, so therefore the margins are relatively decent. You know, if someone's building a $1,500 computer in parts, but you charge them $1,700, you know, you're making $200 on what can be a one-time trip to Micro Center, etc. Or say an editing rig or a NAS or, you know, something of the sort. Relatively speaking, very specialized options. I wouldn't build for grandma. Because then I'm going to be getting questions about grandma's computer where she just needs to open up a goddamn task manager and delete something, but grandma doesn't know how to do that. The problem I have, though, is what happens if you have a situation like I do right now, where I was having crashing all yesterday, right? Which screamed all these different potential problems, right? Generally GPU related. But all it ended up being so far, knock on wood, is a driver issue. I could be on the hook for somebody's, you know, $1,500 computer not working, and in actuality, it was just a freaking driver issue, right? And that's the hard part I have, like, with doing stuff like that, because then inevitably I would be on the hook for all of these problems that some, you know, Joe Blow could have. I wouldn't even give grandma a Raspberry Pi these days. Go buy her an old Dell, go buy her an old Dell pre-built. That's actually the way to go these days. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, you're talking, you know, an old Dell Optiplex is incredibly cheap and an incredibly versatile product. No, I almost beat it. Because even if, like, it was When I was at college, they had the Dell Optiplexes, etc., on sale constantly, and the amount of resellers that would come buy those and then slap like a low-end GPU in them, like a PCIe only, PCIe powered GPU, was actually insane. Because me and my buddy would go there and try to buy them for, you know, family members or whatever, even as like small servers, right? Because they are relatively speaking, pretty good servers. And the amount of people you get there that wanted to buy the whole lot, every single Dell Optiplex that was there, or old MacBooks, old iMacs, Mac Minis. It was just actually insane to me seeing that all the time. Oh shit. That would be a huge thing. I need to get some of my guide stuff out there. But I'm gonna make sure I'm in the category. If if Asmund ever plays this game, I am for sure 24-hour stream until he's off of it. That is 100% the strat. That is 100% a way to gain growth. If you want to stream only. Oh, a raid from Asmund would literally quadruple my numbers in minutes. I mean, it was not really that different when I got a raid from Medias, the League streamer when he was playing Legion. It's really not that different. It's such a thing. When Asmund played like Diablo and a bunch of other ARPGs, yeah, I don't follow his work. I've never been a huge Asmund guy. I just generally don't enjoy watching many streamers these days. Summit is one that I watch still occasionally. Summit 1G, just because I've watched Summit since I was younger, so I like it. You know, I know what he's done. I watched him during the infamous 1G CS:GO moment. I watched that live when he did that with I believe it was Splice, I want to say. Has a lot of short clips that are on YouTube that are funny. I have seen those. Again, I just don't really watch much of that stuff. A lot of what I watch is generally informational. Mockumentaries, as you would call them. Generally. So, like, that's more... also planning on playing Dragon's Dogma, too. Yeah, there's a lot of them that some of those guys play. What I really need to do is start... start playing if whatever Northern Lions on something, make sure I'm on that category if I want to play indie games. That man's an idol of mine for what he does. I've always liked Northern Lion for the indie content he does. Always liked that. But have you watched any of Northern Lion's, I figured you would be... No, I died. Are you serious? Dang it. I figured you'd be more into this because you like movies. Have you watched any of the Sin to Nerdle Northern Lion stuff? To me, that was actually quite interesting. Oh, really? Oh, okay, okay. So I'm not like into movies, right? Hold on. You'd maybe like this. Oh, come on. Now, don't go leaving me for it, but long story short, it's kind of a game based around movie trivia, and he's a big movie buff, like insano movie buff. And so it's quite interesting to watch him just like progress through these movies. And like the basic premise is that like you have to name a movie that someone in the previous movie was in. So whether it be director or whatever, it has to be an accredited cast member. So it can't be a cameo unless it's an accredited cameo, which is kind of interesting. But the dude's just a monster. So like if you're really into that stuff, which I've always kind of got the idea that you are, it's definitely a game I'd recommend. But also just like some stuff to watch, casual things to watch. He's a huge player of it now because he's obviously a movie fanatic. So it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I have no idea what that means, but maybe. But yeah, so then like you're limited to like three usages in the game of I don't know, Scarlett Johansson, right? So you can only play Scarlett Johansson 3 times. So you generally want to be the person that is the first one to post a person, because then you get okay, yeah. So it's the 6 degrees of Hitler. There's a lot of those. Yeah. Now I get what you're saying. I've heard that in different tropes before. It's the, you know, if you name back 6 family members, you will have some acquaintance that had some relationship by proxy with Hitler or something of the sort, right? It's just one of those like meme concepts, but in a similar vein to what you're describing with Kevin Bacon. Like I've got German ancestry. I know I've got family members who were, if I looked back far enough, that were part of the Nazi Party. Just because that's what it was. It was the time period. Not that I condone any of it, but it's really not that hard if you have any German ancestry, especially here in the States. And especially here around the Midwest. The Midwest, people spoke German up until the 1940s. It was like a normal thing to have a German-speaking, so whatever, a bar or whatever, because it was still so close to the... People were still so close to fresh off the boat type thing. But that's an interesting thing. I'm just happy I have not crashed yet, knock on wood. And it seems rolling back my drivers did indeed fix it so far. So hopefully it stays this way and I'm okay. I'd prefer that's the case. And there was at one point, like say on Wikipedia, there was a trope where, you know, every Wikipedia page will eventually lead to Hitler as well. But I mean, you can say that about anything, right? Because if you go infinitely, you will always inevitably end up at a point in something like Wikipedia. Which is, it kind of makes sense. Well, Squirrel, you got any plans for the post-holiday craziness? You on any trips again soon, work-related or not? Back to work? You've been off the entire time, I assume? Don't know of any until March or so. Pesky tax season. Coming up quick. What's going on, Hawk? How you doing, brother? Hope all is well. Can I go to Chicago? Ooh, fun. I say that sarcastically. I don't like big cities very much, but I've been to Chicago a couple times.
Yes.
Last time I went to Chicago, I've really never done any of like the quote unquote fun things about Chicago, so that does not help my case. Enjoying last Epoch? Yeah, so far so good, my man. I went with the wife and saw Hamilton. Ah, fun. I have not gone on to a play in ever really. Wife watched the Hamilton movie and liked it a lot. I have a hard time sitting through things like that. Might get it. Ooh. Well, Hawk, I am enjoying it. A Musical and Wicked are both totally worth saying. I mean, I watched portions of the show with her, or the movie, I should say, for Hamilton. So I get the gist, and like being a history buff, like I do appreciate that kind of stuff. The more historically based things, but it's one of those things of like, yeah, I kind of already know. I already know the story. Like I've read about all that kind of stuff previously, and don't really. I have a hard time sitting through that kind of thing. But mostly just the actual time, right? I've kind of always said that though. I've really enjoyed Last Epoch though. Hawk, if I've how should I put it? Grab that. Gosh, English hard. Brain, think. Okay, I'm good. Had to reset the brain there. Random noises are on purpose. If you like PoE, but want it to be a little bit less stat sheet based, I think is the way I like to put it. It's very much a good in between in complexity between this and like D4. I can show you some stuff real quick. So like each individual skill has its own skill tree, and you can specialize into them to get different results. Each individual class variety, you know, so like I'm an acolyte. Necromancers have certain skills. Liches have certain skills, which can be unlocked via, passive points, which then you can go through and so on and so forth, do things. And to me, it creates a relatively easy game to play, but it still has a good bit of depth to it. If you like ARPGs, I mean, I think you'll like it. It's another grinding game, like any. The end game, you basically get to what are called monoliths, and so they each individually have like their own boss. They have blessings, which give you like some type of bonus, whether it be drop rates or mana or so on and so forth. And then each individual monolith has their own individual like rare drop tables for certain echoes. Echoes are, think of like almost Greater Rift. And so like I have a higher chance of getting certain items out of these. Let's see here if I can show it. Does it not show when I click on it? No, it doesn't. There's a way to show it. I can't remember how. But then these are just different areas of unlock, etc., that you have to run through. And then higher corruption, higher value of your loot, etc., as well as a more difficult dungeon. So I'm enjoying the casualness of just running dungeons and kind of talking to people again. I've honestly found that this game is very much my style in the fact that I can talk to you guys about just random stuff again. Because I feel like with TFT, I just didn't have that accessibility to chat anymore in the same way, because I had to use so much brain power at all times to be playing the game in a ranked variety. So now this is kind of nice. Is the game volume a little loud? I have to ask, because I'm seeing that it's peaking at about 20 when explosions are going off. Yeah, okay. There we go. I died for that, but it's okay. It's good, cool. What's going on, Tyler? Remember, chat, I died for you. I died for you. Doing all right. Had a long yesterday because my stream was crashing a bunch, but I think I've got it figured out. I rolled back my drivers and don't have GeForce Experience installed, and I haven't crashed so far, knock on wood. Starting to play Monster Hunter World. Ooh. Again, how's that? Never bought it. I've always heard Monster Hunter is a good game, but never got into it. But I'm doing pretty good, Tyler. I was messing with my game all yesterday, my computer all yesterday, and got my tabs for my car and the camper, and got my permanent retainers fixed. One of the pieces of the retainer kind of just popped off, which happened. So I only ever really had one introduction to Monster Hunter, and it was on a buddy's PSP, I think it was. That was the version I played. It was fun. I just... It seems like a concept. I just never got into it. It's one of those things, again, I just never had a PlayStation, so a lot of that kind of stuff falls to the wayside then. Because Monster Hunter is a Japanese game, correct? Oh, 2 friends? Ah, that makes sense. I start my next semester in 2 weeks. It's coming up quick! It's Capcom. Yeah, okay. That's right. Yeah, so Japanese. Yeah, Japanese. I thought. Or... Yeah, I'm pretty sure Capcom's Japanese. Dragon's Dogma is also Capcom. Yeah. I also never really got into like Persona or anything like that. Like I've heard a ton of people say Persona is such a great game, and I'm like, well, never gonna play it. Not for any other reason than it just seems like I've missed out on so much. I don't really want to care. I've also never been like a huge story-driven person until like recently. I was into things like platformers and other things that didn't require a whole lot of story as a kid. Like I grew up playing like the N64, SNES, Sega Genesis at my grandparents, etc. But I was much more into competitive things when I was a kid. After that, you know, like I played Yoshi's Island on the N64 and you know all that kind of stuff as a kid. And my dad had a PlayStation 1 that we had for a while when I was younger, but dang it, I looked over at chat again. Well, it's just also one of those things of like, not every story is going to be pertinent or enjoyable for an individual. You know? Huh? Huh? What? I've never had someone tell me I'm not myself. That's an interesting concept, huh? I'm now confused. Tyler's got me. I've had my fair share of haters, but like someone telling me I'm not me is a weird... that's not even hate, that's just confusion. Arishi, have you taken your meds today? Do you know what day it is? I don't think he's taking his meds today. Or is this some like weird bot? I'm confused. I've had Flight in my name for... God, it's been... On Twitch, my name's been Flight of some variety for years now. It's like, you can't even make the argument like that. Real Flight? No, I'm the real Slim Shady. Get it fucking right, okay? He's not a sexy AI. True. I don't have large unga bungas. I can't compete. I don't have unga bungas, I'm sorry. But you know, like when I type, I have a check mark next to my name. That means I am the real Flight. Twitch said so. Checkmate. atheist or something. I don't know, man. You don't have a check mark. You have a bunch of badges for me though. So by proxy, I am endorsing that you are the real Tyler Flash, whose actual name is Bob. Allegedly. Was that some like weird attempt at advertising? That had to have been some like weird attempt at advertising for himself or his friend or something. Cause like even the name screams bot. When he's got Orishi with like 7 underscores behind it. Is that person even live? I've already alienated this person enough that they probably have left, so. I just have more questions than I have answers right now. And it's kind of throwing me off, you know? They could have learned how to die to a dungeon in this game. Yeah, I mean, that's very pertinent information at this point in the game. Hi, Mott. Did I scare you earlier? Oh, you didn't see it then. Never mind. Never mind. You had to bend there. Had to bend there. How's your other account going, Mott? Depression. For 200. Fuck, really? I thought that was just getting old. No, that's depression. Falling asleep mid-dinner is getting old. That or a lack of vitamins, I don't know. Are you eating many vegetables? Or are you eating Taco Bell every night? If you're not eating vegetables, it's probably that. Pushing empowered, but really slowly. Yeah. That is kind of the downside. Like this game feels good. It's just kind of slow unless you get like a boost. You know what I mean? Like, the actual grinding of the empowereds can take a while, especially if you're playing like a solo found account where you don't have like your previous accounts drops. Meant like hopping in for an hour or so. Still, that is slow. It's 1 to 2 hours per mono for me right now. And that's a while. That's why I'm not playing on my druid right now. Is because, like, at a certain point, I want to mess with it more, but there's just so much energy I have to put into it. And I'd rather just play this account and just push corruption. Because, like, I still haven't even done a lightless arbor yet with the 2 million or whatever it is recommended. So, like, I want to do a lightless arbor. I'm trying to do all the dungeons, and I'm still very much far from that. But yeah. I also stopped and got wife a coffee today, so. And I did the majority of the laundry last night while I was pacing around the house wanting to jump out the window. So I'm on good tidings right now. I might get head pats later for that, you know? That was a call to earlier in the stream, by the way. Making fun of Cass. Cass has children. That kind of makes things a little bit harder to taunt them now. Nopers. That's the best part of the day, right? Befang Cleaver. I've got like 6 of those now. Chronicle of the Damned. What's that for? Hungering Souls? That has to be like a lich thing then. I'm gonna take a power nap. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Got a 1 LP of that today? Nice. I've got Faith of the Frozen 1 LP and then a Troka's Teeth 2 LP today. I don't know if that's any good, but I have it. And a Hell's Reach 2 LP. Ward Trail, and then this thingy, Advent of the Erased with Weaver's Will. I honestly need to... Oh, I was going to look at my offhands, right? Yeah. They're about the same, but I think I could argue for the left one, because the 1 more int plus 3% more for DOT area. So let's put this one on instead. It's pretty close, I'd argue, though. Can you stop shooting me from a mile away and just fight me like a man? That's it. I'm gonna have my zombies blow up you or something. Trying to make that not sound weird. Because I was gonna say blow you, but that was very weird then, you know? So, life is hard. Yeah, that was a lot of intentional dick jokes back to back. Oh, I am out of mana. All right. But yeah, so Mott, if you're still here, it's things like I did today that make it so that I can be a stay-at-home house husband. Okay? So just like take notes, alright, bro? Rainbow's Edge will blow an LP. Amulet, Strong Mind. He said his wife said he couldn't be a stay-at-home house husband unless he did more. So I have to make the joke now. I'm probably gonna have to do a rogue ranger eventually with all these good rogue drops. I've got an absolute crap ton of uniques with like multi-LP for items on rogues. Oh, that could have been bad. Nearly died there. Oh, plus to rip blood. That could be useful. Ooh, it's a good Vite one, but I think the one I have right now is much better in terms of overall value. So worst comes to worst, I just use that as a throwaway LP stack one. Increased area for melee skills. It's a two-hander, sadly. But that could be good on my... Look at my account. Interesting. What is this? Oh. Only a tier 6. It's not really that good even. This could be good on something, so I'll throw that in there. If I want to do like a rip blood build. Nope, that's the wrong one. I don't want it in there. I want it in, I'll put it with the... Exalted Armors that I kind of want to keep. I mean, this honestly isn't really that good. I'll just probably get rid of it. It looked better than it was on first glance. Isn't that crazy? And then this isn't that great either, honestly. I just drop it. I think it's good to go for the stacks on it, but not really that great to keep. Hawken, are you still here? If so, and you do, just an aside, if you do end up picking up Last Epoch, let me know if you have any questions. For one, I'll help you out, but two, I'm trying to get questions from people in terms of like what they got into the game and struggled with, so that I can make content to pieces about it. I have like a good idea of things that obviously people would ask about. You know, the crafting system I think is a little bit unique in the sense of like how it actually all functions, but decay, not really what I wanted, sad. This armor is kind of neat. I'm gonna go for this chest just because it's here. Is it insulation? Ooh, those are good gloves. Throwing damage is kind of trash, but the rest of the options there might be good. Let me look at those when we get back. I might craft those to make them better. Alright. So what do I got right now? Increased minion damage, increased cast speed, resistance. I mean, those are good. Let's see here. Oh, I have elemental and physical resistance here. All right, let's go into this here and see. Oh, did not mean to bring up the developer console. All right, equipment. I'm just looking to see here on gloves what he wants. Honestly, he wants Lich's Envy more than anything, which is Then if that's the case, then I shouldn't even really care about these. I should go do the Soul Bastion, I think it is, for Lich. Yeah. Lich's Scorn is the other item I wanted for a second. So both those are actually quite doable. I still think this is a decent body armor. Actually, it's very good for an Acolyte. But I can also like theoretically use that for the increased armor because that's a tier 7 increased armor. I could use that on one of my other builds, right? Because that's like a huge setup. Leech's health, medium damage, Leech's health. It's just really hard to beat the plus 24 on the Acolyte body armor I got now. Shield, yeah. I need to go throw and do those sooner than later, but I have another shield here. Shit. Oh, that's not a shield. That was not a shield. Bows and quivers. Offhand. I have to go through and get rid of my offhands here soon, because I'm out of space as of now. Uniques and 2 hands. Wands. I have a couple slots for some one-handers. Unique weapons. Sure. Just throw these in here for now. Take my gloves out of there and put those back in my gloves category. Boots. I got some boot slots now. Alright, so let's put in the extra key, put the AMI in here. I can go through these one of these nights. Just get rid of all the extra junk I've got in the... Or I'll probably have to do that here sooner than later. But, Soulfire. Let's go do them. If there's anybody that wants to do Soulfires, feel free. I'm chilling. Because the mana cost with Infernal Shade and Dread Shade is decreased, I believe. And then Spellfire and then Spellfire damage over time. Infernal Shade just gets buffed in general with that, that's the majority of my damage output with this setup, so... Let's do level 4, see if I can beat it. I'm feeling pretty decent about it. I'll grab that for now, but... got so much necrotic damage, so, necrotic resistance. It's hilarious. You're an 88 when I'm in here. Holy shit. Homie, relax. God damn. Man's actually blowing fire out his ass. Going down this way to see if I can, like, find the exit by going along the outside right now. Oh, I will say though, like watching TV, I generally can't get myself to sit down and watch TV But when I can do it, like do something while I'm doing it, so like doing laundry, for instance, I am so much more like willing and likely to watch TV while doing something like laundry than I am to ever watch TV otherwise. That's a decent option. Just because Soul Feast gives me another necro stat. There's an exit up here. What is it? Okay. The first item will be a unique or set piece. Oh, whoa. I went to go... all right, dang, okay. Tier 4 definitely has hands. I just looked away from her second and I was down to 0. Dang, okay. All right. All right. Let's go again. Let's do 4 again. I just need to be a little smarter. I think I got a little bit greedy there and just kind of was just walking. Pay attention for 2 seconds to the potential path, and well, I paid for it. Because like I'm blowing up these guys pretty easily, and I think I probably shouldn't have too much of an issue on the boss here. Especially because I can just negate the damage that they're doing constantly, which is easy enough. Yeah, that's what it is. I keep my my stacks of souls as long as I don't log out, I believe, so. And I couldn't jump that. Yeah, one of the positives having like insane necrotic resistance is that I just straight up don't have to worry about necrotic damage like ever right now. So I can just keep on the fire resist if I need to. Even while being targeted, I'm still gaining. That's funny. My ward amount is pretty crazy. The only downside to these is like that guy resists fire, right? So like I'm running into these situations in which I'm getting, I would just say, like kind of cock blocked by the resistances of the mobs. When I'm so heavy DOT fire based. But it's not the end of the world. Oh. T5 sealed affix. Okay. At this point, I'm not so much worried about that kind of stuff, and I'm much more worried about trying to get my drop from the boss. So, if I've got a decent enough odds to get anything, I'll take it. At this point, my build literally consists of me spamming. Once I've pressed my W, it's just ER, ER, ER. So, it's kind of fun. Yeah, those fire dudes do some damage. Two-handed sword, not exactly what I want to see. That's okay. All right. This one, I'm trying to go for some souls now. So like I actually probably will clear this one out a lot more than I did the first room. Just to make sure I can get a couple items. Gotta be careful right now, though. That's a lot of enemies, and I had no ward really stacked up. That's what's killed me a couple times here, is I'll run into an area with, like, 0 ward on hand, and just get my cheeks slapped together by some crit, because I really don't have much crit avoidance still. I think we're doing alright, though. All these base ones give me a good bit of soul drops, so I'm doing alright. More down here I didn't even see. Nice. Okay, one other thing I've been thinking about recently, because it's that time of year again, where I get all my emails from my alma mater. The biggest scam is spending a shit ton of money to go to college, right? And then once you graduate, they expect you to give more via donations. How in the fuck does that make sense? Here's a shit ton of money to get a degree. Oh, and then by the way, we also expect you to donate to us every year. Safe to say I've never once donated. Only if you want tickets to their sport games. Yeah, I guess you could. I could see it if, like, you know, you were, you know, a diehard, you know. Let's say I went to the U of M, right, and I grew up going to U of M sporting events and such, and like I'm now a bigwig at Best Buy or Target Corp, whatever. Okay, sure, I guess, but like it still just blows my mind how much money those colleges make already in current year. What? No, I did not go to Miami. The 20K donation? Oh, God. What's sad is I believe it. No, I didn't go to a no-name school, but I definitely did not go to like a U of M. I couldn't afford it, to be honest. You may be under. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Some of those schools, like you want to get Alabama tickets. I imagine Bama is expensive as shit. Got to pay for that overpriced football team somehow, right? Oh, sorry. U of M, my U of M, University of Minnesota. My apologies. I always forget. Hey, there we go. Got my gloves. How are my rolls on this? They're all right. Yeah, sorry. U of M being University of Minnesota, not. Yeah, my increased cast speed is kind of piss on these. I'm gonna probably run a couple more of these. I actually got waitlisted at the University of Minnesota. Sorry, U of M to me is just the nomenclature for it, but I understand like there's a lot of U of M's. University of Michigan, University of whatever, you know. That's actually not a half bad roll. Yeah, sorry. U of M, University of Miami. Yeah, the U. The U. Yeah, I often forget that that's a thing. Because I just grew up, it was just always the U of M. It was University of Minnesota. But yes, you are correct. What are these? T5 move speed. I mean, those are actually pretty good. And level 73 though. Southern schools are crazy expensive for sports. Oh yeah, no, I've known that. But it's still insane to hear, you know. Woo! I'll put some hair in your chest in the morning. Woo! That was a loud one. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for... I think I'm going to go for another couple of rounds of Soulfire Bastion here. Just to try to get a better roll on those gloves, because they're kind of ass. I don't think I can technically even get the ones I need out of this. So. No. At that point, I probably should just go for helmets, probably. Yeah. Yeah, so I go helmets next time. Yeah, no, Southern schools are generally very expensive, but it's also one of those weird things that they... I mean, a lot of those states don't have a whole lot of else to root for. I guess University of Miami is I mean, there's at least the Dolphins and other things there. Do they have a baseball team? I don't know actually. Miami's got a lot of football though, so like, Florida's got a lot of football, so at least that's something. But like Alabama doesn't have much. Mississippi. Yeah, Dolphins, Jags, Tampa. Yeah, there's a lot in a lot of football in Florida. But I like to, you know, think of the big ones where it's like Alabama, right? Massive college football program. But like there isn't a whole lot there. Ole Miss, I always hear about Ole Miss. I never really don't really know how relevant they are, but like Georgia, a lot of Texas. That's what I always think of when I think of that kind of stuff. Then you get your UCLAs and stuff though too. So I guess yeah. I don't know. I just never got really big into Georgia and Georgia Tech. Yes. The distinction. I don't really know the distinction, but I know there's a difference. That's all I got for you. Gotta know somebody for those tickets? Yeah. Be a former president to get something like that, for Christ's sakes. Or have slept with a former president, one of the two. Wouldn't hurt. Yeah. Yeah, I just never really got into the whole college thing. Even when I was in college, it was just mid to me. I just could care less. I mean, quite a bit of depression plays a role in that, but yeah, it's just it was just not my thing. I also don't drink, so it's like half of college, you know, that a lot of people really, you know, resonate with of the partying and you know, going out and doing all that stuff. Like I don't do so. My favorite thing was going to like the video game club. No, I think there was still plenty of things I enjoyed about it, but like my first year, it was just like I went to North Dakota State, and like I like football and I like all that stuff, but it was also just like I don't care enough, you know. I'm not gonna go tailgate, so it was just one of those things. Whoa, that's a lot of shards. But yeah, I know that first year at NDSU is the large majority of my debt came from. Your side, okay. Oh, there's another one here. I think I'll do this one for the soul. Oh! Damn it. Ah! Security, but I know the cost. I'm honestly just gonna do tier 3 instead of tier 4. Tier 3 is, I mean, I'm getting nearly the same output of potential for glove drops. I think it's 25 versus 30. So like the 5% difference for the increase in difficulty probably isn't worth it. And like, it just takes me running out of potions one time to kill me in tier 4, whereas tier 3 I can get away with being a lot more. And it's not like I really want staves, scepters, or maces, so at this point tier 3 is the easiest to farm my item from. So that's, I think, the plan. See how good of a plan it is, but just wasted 2 keys in tier 4, and it's just not worth the like the lost key is probably worth more than anything else. But whatever. Oh, we have one path because everything's blocked. Love that. Dang you, teleporting little bastards. But I mean, like, it's one of those things too of, yeah, sure, my going to college was kind of a waste of money in a lot of ways, right? Because I'm not doing anything with my degree. But my now wife would definitely have not stuck around with me if I were have to said that, oh yeah, I'm gonna stream for a living, you know? It only really came about that it was really COVID that kind of changed the dynamic of what was possible for me. And then having Legion blow up helped a lot because it actually showed that there was a potential there. And she also saw that I was putting in the hours. There was a while there I was doing 80-hour weeks to try to keep up. But it ended up not being worth it, the 80 hours, etc., because I was slacking then on other work around the house, etc. And she would rather me be spending the extra time on housework to help her out than it would me to grind YouTube or whatever it is in the meantime. Which to me kind of made sense. But yeah. The plan is to hopefully get some content out for this here soon. I'm just excited that I don't know, I'm doing something different. Random tier 1 sealed affix? That kind of seems like ass. Like, sure, I'm getting a sealed, but like... The only positive there is I'm getting a guaranteed exalted. Right? Which, in and of itself, is probably worth a little bit of something. Just because the guaranteed T6. Scepter. Mid, at best. I want wands. I need to go through my grand blessings and see if there's a wand option for them. Because I might need to force through some tier 100s in one of the options to get some more wand drops rather than like scepters. I feel like scepters is what I currently have it set as for one of them. And at least I recall. I'll look though. Interesting. That strength ring might be nice on my other character. What's this one? Rare item with a tier 4 sealed affix. Not that great, to be honest. I'll keep pushing. I don't know how many of these doors can be in an individual soul bastion, so I guess we're kind of finding out. I want to go down and get this chest, though, no matter what, so... No matter what I was doing, regardless of what happens. Increased lightning damage scythe? You know, it could be nice. Looks like that's probably it, because that's the external extents of this all. So I'm probably going to do the sealed tier 1 exalted. Oh, whoa! Clicked the wrong thing there, Flight. Dang. I don't even know how I did that. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. And then this gives me a chance to get maybe some better boots. Because at this point, it's like better boots and better chest plate. But my chest plate right now is pretty damn good. It's going to be very difficult to get a better chest plate, I think, right now. When it really comes down to it. Because, like, inventory. Nope, not inventory. I mean, that's pretty BIS right now. Like, to get tier 5 everything, that's going to be tough to beat. I have to get, like, a double tier 6 or something like that. Double tier 6, like a tier 6 G7. Something of the sort. With good tier 6 and good T7 options for myself. So, we'll see kind of what happens. Yeah, tier 3 is so much easier. I'm just basically walking through this right now. Because I don't think the quality of the soul gambler's items is any different. Really. It's just that I get less of or more of a certain typing, I believe. If that's the case, tier 3 is a cakewalk compared to tier 4 for me, so I'd rather go tier 3s. If I was in a situation where tier 4s were just disgustingly easy, then it'd probably be different, but... I really notice how slow this character, Necro, is, though. That's the only downside to playing Necromancer. That actually might be something I talk about in the guide, is if you're playing Necro in and of itself, expect to be really slow comparatively to your friends. Necro and I think Mage are both relatively pretty slow from what I've understood. Lich has that movement when he transitions to the other form, that he becomes pretty speedy comparatively. Which would be pretty nice to have, honestly, because it's molasses right now. I got a taste of the movement speed of Beast Master, and that's a whole different level, so that's where it's hard. Oh, can't go that way. Walk back into some enemies, blow them up in 3 seconds, and walk by. Those would have been like nearly insta-death if I was playing on tier 4 right now. Double searing and necrotic flesh, and then infernal cage would have been pretty gnarly to try to beat. Dead end. Love that. Oh, that's a visual bug. Love that for us. Okay, I've got 0 pots right now. I gotta be smart. I will say I can definitely tell the difference in the shade costs right now, Dread Shade and Infernal Shade. Just by having this one item. And now I see why he runs it in his build. The itemization and the help from that, the you know, extra DOT damage is nice, but it's simply just a self-preservation point of having mana. There was a bit there where I couldn't... I kept running into mana caps constantly on this character. Because I'd just spam, you know, so many abilities so quickly to try to actually damage people. And unless you're getting your skeletons dropping some stuff for you, it's just kind of a little sucky. But That's changing with time. Getting a couple better items that have nice bonuses for mana, as well as just knowing what I need to get kills now a little bit more. Like, I know I don't need to spam W so much as I need to spam E. And if I'm just spamming E, R and E, my mana doesn't go down nearly as fast. Even previous to, privy to me getting the item. So that's kind of nice to know. It says I have 37 people in here? What in the hell? Hello, hello? Did Twitch just have a moment? Or did I just get 37 people from the category? I'm going on a limb and saying either Twitch had a moment or I got a raid that didn't show up. Which I guess both things could be true. Well, I mean, hey, if people are here, hello, welcome. If anybody has any questions for me, feel free to shoot them. Try to be an open book about this stuff, about anything, whether it be this game or streaming in general or whatever. Always do my best to try to answer questions. It's to me, it's actually more what I like to do is Q&A style stuff. Oh, nice. Okay, sweet. We got some pots here. Definitely needed them. Starting to run a little low on them constantly. Because if I want to like run quickly through these dungeons, I really need to be spamming my potion button, which is kind of a pain. You know what? I like that. I like the forging potential being higher. Gives me more opportunity to make do with some exalteds. Is it the best case scenario? Nah, probably not, but that's something. Proceed to the furnace. Alright, this is basically a cakewalk. I just spam. He's dead already. Oh. Motherfucker just surviving a little bit more than he should have there. Dang. Okay. No other set of gloves. That's okay, though. Oh, I didn't want to go in there just yet. Okay, my first item I get is an exalted. So with a tier 1. So let's do a body armor. I mean, like, that's actually not a bad armor. T6, so it's fine. Not great, but not bad. Blood and blood splatter. Not great for my build, but again, not bad. Another unique. Whoa! Prismatic gaze. I have no idea what that does. But that looks cool. Oh, great. Another Isidore Revenge. Exactly what I wanted. If anybody didn't know I was kidding there, I don't want that. Alright. Ooh, Snowblind with... Okay. What do I want for my... Oh, Omnis or Bleeding Heart, yeah? I think I actually have an Omnis now, but I'll grab these then quick.
Yeah, lucky you.
That could be nice for my my other account. Other character, I should say. Ooh. That'd be kind of nice. There's some potential there. That's a T7 increased DOT. That's actually very nice. Rares. Garbage then. Unique.
Yeah, lucky you.
Ooh. Okay. Just throw these in. That's a... Oh, it is a T7. I'll keep that then. It's a T6. Yeah, not even worth keeping then. Just use that for drain life value. Physical. It'd be nice, but I'm not gonna use that on my other character. T6. Don't care then. Alright. So let's put that in my... Let's do EX armors. There you go. I'm just trying to throw some things in that might be nice. These are still my multis, which is kind of nice to have a option for, but eh. I gotta pee quick. Yeah, it says I was at 37, now I'm down to 16. So my gut is Twitch had a moment where like it false inflated my views. It does that a lot. I don't know how Twitch can manage that all the time, where like I'll go from having like, 15, 20 viewers, and all of a sudden we'll say I'm at like 75 when there is not a single extra soul in the chat. So I have no idea what happens. It has to either be that or like a person testing a bot farm or something. It's weird. I don't know. Because it's one of those things like they have no usernames are added to the chat list. I don't see anything like out of the ordinary or peculiar. So it sounds to me like it has to be something like that. But whatever. We've been on for 2.5 hours already? Holy smokes. Time does fly when you're playing this game and you're doing dungeon runs, etc. So let me just use the bathroom quick, then be back. I'm just gonna light a candle real quick. Yeah, no crash is huge so far. I'm going to keep leveling and prefacing so far, because it could happen at any moment. My computer could be like, peace dog, we out. And get out of here. you know? So I'm just kind of chilling. Okay, let me check to see if I have Omni. No, I just have this. And then I think have a bleeding heart. Nope, I don't have a bleeding heart. I thought I did. I guess not. Oh well. Type heart instead. Am I just an idiot? Maybe I'm thinking of the frozen heart. All right, we're vibing.
You're not forgiven. I need to speak with you.
All right, let's just keep doing tier 3 dungeon runs. I'd like a better pair of gloves. Oh, there we go. But I'd also like to keep trying to go for a couple pairs of boots. I could go for a better set of boots and amulets pretty easily. You wanna be a big solid for. Listening to this dude bitches. Funny. Oh, I think it got detected because I said shitter. Ah, hold on. Ah! What's going on, Gonan? Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm getting pretty excited. Well, I kind of gave up. I can't recall if you were a TFT viewer. You've been following for a minute. So yes, you had to have been. Or at least Legion. Regardless. But yeah, so I kind of gave up on TFT, and I'm trying to like come up with something to do, and you know, content wise, and ARPGs are always kind of been like a guilty pleasure. To play grinding games, like I enjoyed a lot of like looter shooters for a while. Like played a ton of Borderlands when I was younger. And so that was always kind of like just, you know, guilty pleasure. Games I like to play, but necessarily didn't always want to play. It's the same thing with like RuneScape, right? Just the time commitment. The time commitment was always kind of a killer, especially when I was going through college and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But trying to come up with some +3 to transplant. That has to be tier 6. Okay, yeah, I'll grab that. Trying to come up with different games to play, and I love playing a lot of indie games. So my going forward is going to be basically just last Epoch for the daily grind, and then some indie games maybe to end off the nights. Last Epoch has a pretty heavy European viewer base. I've looked a little bit. And so because of that, streams will kind of tail off towards the end of my, like towards the beginning of my nighttime, pretty heavily. Well, Squirrel was saying earlier that Asmongold was talking about this game. You got 1,500 hours? Jeez. You are much deeper than I at this point. Ooh. Ah. Rare item with tier 4. The tier 4 doesn't really help me that much. Because I can't really use it. If it was an exalted, sure. But like just a rare, I've got plenty of better items. I don't know if that's my first one of those. I've had the game for many years now. Valid, because what, it came out in like 2019 or something of the sort. And if you've played through the years, you can definitely add up on games like this. Even if you're just playing like the patches as seasons almost. Rogue was a new class when I started. I am fresh off the press, so I am a newbie in that regard comparatively to you then. I think I'm about 100 hours or so. But like in terms of ARPG time, that's scratching the surface, right? I think like at 200. I'll just send it with this. I've got like 200 corruption on this necro. That's about it. So very little hours comparatively. But I've got a pretty good grasp on it all. I'm gonna start like writing scripts here soon. On things I think. I think there's quite a bit of things that this game does well that I can kind of highlight, but also some things that are pretty easy, like I think glaring pitfalls for new players to try to figure out. Like the crafting system is intuitive, but also very difficult to like know what's worth, keeping versus not. You end up like with me where you hoard a shit ton of items that are absolutely trash, but you keep doing it anyway. I'm also just a dirty, filthy hoarder, but yeah, no, I think like there's a fun to ARPGs for the idea of like different builds and classes and setups and meme builds and unique builds that you can play around that very much I think goes well for a content perspective, and that should be fun. I just want my freaking squirrel. I want the Herald of the Scurry so So I can make a dang squirrel build. Who doesn't want a bunch of angry little squirrels running around on the board, okay? But I know I will never get it. It took me a week basically to get 2 putts. And that's a common drop. And that's playing like 6 to 8 hours a day on this account. Both are 0 OP. And that's, you know, a squirrel is a rare drop, Herald of the Scurry. Rare drop, and so like I've just relegated the idea that I'll probably never see one. That's the beauty and the pain of it, right? And that's even when I was playing like RuneScape, it's the drop rate you're it's the drop rate you're fighting, not necessarily the mechanics. Which is where like I stopped playing old school and RuneScape in general as I got older, because I'm like, I just don't have time to play the grind game anymore. But now if I'm gonna be streaming, may as well. This was perfectly when it's here. That's kind of shit, to be honest. Implicit mod. You know, that's actually not bad. I'll do that. I'm gonna do a little bit more just to get some more. I think since I chose that, I have to take it, which maybe I should have waited. But I want to get a little bit more souls before I went in. Just kill stuff around me. We don't play with that bad juju anymore, Squirrel. Of my computer getting wiped out after I've had to reinstall Windows last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago, and then my crashing yesterday. I can't handle another computer incident. I was gonna respond to that one guy about a good belt or not, but it's like, I don't know, man. What's your build? Is it a good belt? Really depends. There we go. Killed him. Another ring, but no. Soul Gambler, here we are. Chest plate. Oh, okay. It's not really what I wanted, but it's fine. Rare boots, not really what I wanted. Set item. Ugh. This is garbage, yeah? Okay, garbage. Salted, any good?
Oh, lucky you.
Where was that? Where'd that get put? Am I blind or am I dumb? Both, probably. Oh. There's this one. Yeah, it was this one. Not really helpful to me right now. Salted item.
Oh, lucky you.
Elemental resistances. It's higher than the other one. This is a T7. Sadly, the rest of it's kind of mid at best. I mean, we could... That is a cast speed increase, and we can forge this. Okay. That's actually pretty... That's decent. I can play around with that, with forging it. I do need better options in that regard, so let me... Okay. Hold on. Get out of here. What are my... Oh, yeah. Let's do this, actually. What can I add for... prefixes? Increased percentage chance to find potions could be nice. I could do DOT, which would be good. Elemental damage and DOT would be better. I'll get right on that, Squirrel. Get right on that. There is a lot of prefixes I could add to this, so I don't think chaos necessarily makes sense. But I don't think necessarily... Let's do removal. RNG it. Okay. Damn it! No! The T7! Oh, well, this thing's garbage now. On the ground you go. It was the right play, but it was the wrong play. Oh, that's right. They added stream together now. I was going to try to put a marker, but is that on a thing on their website? Oh, there it goes. There we go. There we go. I wanted to add that roll of the tier 1 or tier 7 off.